has always been the goal from the day that I joined New Japan, March 2017. I mean, the championship looks a little bit different. Obviously, I imagined that I'd be getting the version 4. But having got this version, this is my favourite. So I will not have a bad word said about this championship. And I think I've got the opportunity now to really put my stamp on this championship. I hope, however long I hold this championship, I hope that people, when they think about this championship, think about Zack Sabre Jr. But it's one thing to win the championship, and I'm very aware that staying at the top is nowhere near as achievable as getting to the top. So the hard work starts now. But I am very fond of this championship already. I'm still figuring out the way to hold it. I think there's supposed to be a rule. But yeah, I think everyone needs to get ready that this championship and my Tokon Chin are a tag team made in heaven. So yeah, it had to be this year. Obviously we can speak about the wrestlers that have left, but I was never concerned about which wrestlers have left New Japan in the last few years. My concern is just on my own growth and achievements as a wrestler. So I set 2024 as a goal, because if it wasn't going to happen this year, when was it going to happen? And it was important that the fans understand that I was aiming for the top and that I'm not just happy to sit in the background. So it had to be this year, and luckily it paid off. What is my state of mind now that I am champion? Well, I mean, this is literally a lifelong goal of mine, but having achieved it does not feel like everything, achieving this does not feel like I've achieved all of my goals. Of course, this, I said before, winning the G1 felt like the start of my career. Well, I feel like this is just step 2. To be the champion is one thing, to stay champion. So yeah, I'm not relishing in like, oh, I've done everything I ever wanted. Like, this is the start of the hard work. And, no matter how long this first title reign lasts, obviously I'm aiming to reach the record number of defences in a title reign for this new championship. That's the goal. But whatever happens after this is we're still in the early days of my career. I'm 20 years in, I've got 20 more top level years. So yeah, my goal now is to really start the hard work. Being champion of one of the largest wrestling companies in the world is not going to be easy. I'm fully aware of that, but I've bet on myself this entire time, and now the gamble starts. What would I have done if I had lost the title match with Naito? I'd have thrown myself into the Pacific Ocean and sunk to the bottom. That is a very good question. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to go back to England. That would have been incredibly embarrassing. I mean, of all people, to have lost the championship match against before what was supposed to be my triumphant homecoming to the UK, the worst part about it would have been that Naito would have been very pleased with himself. But that was a gamble that I wanted to take. I'm not a gambling man. I went to Las Vegas, didn't gamble once. I don't bet on sports. The only thing I gamble on is my career, and luckily the bet paid off. What's the most important factor in making my childhood dream come true? I think if you just do something for long enough, then eventually it has to work out well. I mean, wrestlers always talk about sacrifice. For me, I always feel like that's a misguided viewpoint. I didn't sacrifice anything for wrestling. Wrestling's given me everything that I've ever had. And I've said this a few times, that wrestling owes me nothing. It's been easy for me to put every ounce of my being into pro wrestling because it's the only thing that I've ever wanted. And it's the only thing that I truly believe that I should be. Like, I am at my core a professional wrestler, and I will be till the day I die. I mean, if you're passionate about something, then you'll just naturally put all of your effort into it. So you talk about hard work and effort and time, but I think if you just find, I mean, it's ikigai, right? Cliche Japanese word, but what is your motivation for waking up? Well, every day that I wake up is to be the best pro wrestler that I can be. Not the best pro wrestler in the world, the best pro wrestler that I can be. And that's unattainable, but it means that you have something to work for every day. So even though I'm champion, I know that I'm still a flawed wrestler. I still make mistakes. I might have had some of the best matches of my career this year, and I've definitely had some of the worst. So yeah, I think if you just find something you're passionate about, then that gives you your purpose. The opening match is Young Lions, and the fans know that they're rookies, that they're trying their best, but they still have a lot to learn, and that support goes upwards throughout the card. So I think Japanese fans only really care about one thing, and that's hard work. So they appreciate and acknowledge that you can fail and that you will fail, but as long as they can see that you're trying your best, you know, ganbatte, gambarimasu, you know, those concepts are not unique to pro wrestling. That's in every facet of Japanese life. I think everyone's working their hardest. So if they see a pro wrestler that's doing the same, then they'll give you their support. I think Japanese fans care about details, you know, both in and out of the ring. And I think Japanese fans are very attentive, you know, especially even for foreign wrestlers. I still get comments about, you know, thanking me for staying during COVID. You know, I wouldn't have expected any thanks or adulation for that. You know, I stayed because I wanted to stay, but it is appreciated that, you know, it was acknowledged. So yeah, I think care. I think Japanese fans care, and that's something I truly appreciate. My first impression of Shingo Takagi was when we wrestled in Germany in 2009 for WXW 16 Karat Gold, and he choked me out with a sleeper, and I woke up 30 seconds after he beat me. Every bout I've had with Shingo has had a lot of high stakes. Then we faced each other in the block of this year's G1, and then the semi-finals again. So now our sixth match is going to be for the IWGP World Heavyweight title again. So I think that speaks paramount about the level that Shingo is always at. I think something I admire about him is that he's not complacent. He never half-asses it. Even if he's not a champion, he carries himself like a champion. So I'm always excited and eager to wrestle Takagi, but I think, well, I don't want to insult him by saying he's stupid, because he's not stupid. He is a very intelligent wrestler, but he wrestles with a lot of heart and determination. I think every time I've beat him, it's because I'm a smarter wrestler. So yeah, I don't want to call Takagi an idiot, even though years ago I would have berated him as an idiot, but I think Takagi is a very intelligent wrestler, but I think we just have completely different styles. And I think, you know, every time I've beat Shingo Takagi, it's been by submission. Very few people have beat Shingo by submission throughout his entire career. I've only beat Shingo by submission. That this is not an arbitrary title defense. I think of anyone outside of myself, Shingo wants to be at the top of New Japan, and he wants to lead by example, and he wants to carry the company into the future. That's the kind of challenger that I want. But I think he should be very aware that every match we've ever had, I've beaten him by submission when I've won. If I lose to Shingo in Osaka, yeah, Tokyo Dome does shio. Rambo? Yeah, I've not thought about it. That's like, you can't, I mean, you don't want to delude yourself into thinking, right, of course I'm 100% beating Shingo Takagi, of course I'm walking into the Tokyo Dome as champion. But at this point, I'm not at the peak of my career. My peak is still to come, but I'm at the highest level that I've ever been in my career. And then I didn't want to win the G1, guarantee my challenge at the Tokyo Dome, and then have 4 months of nothing. I mean, I'm sure it's not the quickest turnaround, but I won the championship on Monday. I made my first title defense in England on the Sunday in 6 days. So I want to defend this championship as much as possible, but that comes with a risk. Perhaps I won't walk into the Tokyo Dome as champion, but that's not what I'm not thinking about that in any way. And then yeah, if I lose the championship for Tokyo Dome, I should be in the Rambo. That is the risk that I'm taking. But I think the end of 2024 has become a lot more interesting with me, not only as champion, but as the whole mix-up for the schedule. So, shogunai. If I lose the championship, shogunai. But I'm not losing. Well, Shota's cutting a lot of slack at the moment, but you know, he's still very young. I think he debuted around the time that I joined New Japan, so I've had my eye on him from the beginning. I wrestled him just before he left for England. Before COVID, obviously he had his excursion in England, you know, as much as possible with the pandemic. He's still finding himself, and I think it took me a long time to find myself, so it'd be easy for me to judge him for not having it all figured out. I mean, the best advice I would have, and this is the same advice I'd give to any wrestler, is wrestle the way that you genuinely feel passionate about. You know, it took me a long time to figure it out, but I think it would have been apparent what type of wrestler I was trying to be the whole time. I just wasn't good enough to be that wrestler. But yeah, like you know, you need to think like, who am I as a wrestler? And that should be very easy for people to recognise. And then yeah, I probably can't comment on image or ring attire, as I've mostly just worn trunks and shin guards the whole time. But yeah, I guess it's not just style, it's image too. Like, who are you? You know, are you roughneck? I know that Japan's very fond of English expressions that are somewhat misused, but are you the roughneck? Are you the shiny white and pink glow stick ace? You know, who are you? But I still think he's very capable, he's very skilled, he's still very young. He's going to figure it all out, but he's not going to figure it out against me for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. So I think it's my job and my duty to beat him in a way that he's then able to find himself. Yeah, it's good. I mean, the ace thing's always interesting, isn't it? I feel like that title should be given to you by the fans. You can feel that, like, oh, I want to be the top of New Japan. I've wanted to be the top of New Japan my entire life. But I think when you make it that transparent, that I think it seems false. And then yeah, I'm probably not one to speak about hairstyles, but yeah, whoever his hairdresser is needs firing. Prospects for the future, well, there's one goal left, one immediate goal left for this year, and that's the main event, the Tokyo Dome. It's something I've never done before. It's something I've aspired for my whole career, but certainly since I joined New Japan, it's been attainable, but I've not reached that level yet. But I think it's perfect timing to have won the G1 for the first time. My first IWGP Singles Championship is the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, I don't gloat or get ahead of myself with achievements, but I am pleased that the championship that I wanted to win for the first time is my first IWGP Singles belt. So the next step is main eventing the Tokyo Dome. And you know, of course, that in itself is a huge achievement. But to be the first foreigner to win under the Wrestle Kingdom branding is all of my focus now. And you know, of course, I've got a championship match before that. But if you don't have long-term goals as well, then I think you'll get caught up in the moment. So I'm not overlooking my next IWGP singles match, but I am going into the Tokyo Dome as champion, and that is why I changed up the whole autumn schedule, because I wanted to enter Tokyo Dome as champion, and I am going to do that.